Today's episode, I'm going to go over how to become a successful nail tech and create that six-figure business that we are all in the industry for. This video is not going to show you ways to get rich quick. Trust me, this career is not for that. Doing nails, hair, lashes, makeup, any industry which takes a lot of money to learn the craft and a lot of time to become skillful in this career is not going to be anything that you're going to make money off of fast. So I'm going to talk about ways that you can increase your revenue as a nail tech or just in the beauty industry in general to become a six-figure business owner or a six-figure nail tech specifically. Once you decide that you want to start a career as a nail tech, first thing I recommend you do is buy a bunch of basic supplies off Amazon, very low price. Now, there are going to be items that are going to be on Amazon and AliExpress and eBay, like kits and things like that, that are super low quality and also contain MMA and the monomer, and the powders and acrylics are just not going to be easy to practice with. So we're not going to go that low. But I do recommend starting with some lower end brands such as Mia Secret or even McCart is another low-end brand that I recommend. I feel like it's really good. Savaland. There's a couple other ones that I will list in the description so that way when you get started you can go look for these products. These are going to be brands that you can continue to use as you become an experienced nail tech, but they're just on the lower pricing side. So I always recommend when you're starting out, just because you don't know if you're even going to like this, you want to get the things that are priced the lowest to make it easier for your budget. List of items that you need to be able to create a full set. And I want you to go ahead and start doing some research, like watching my videos, getting on YouTube, things like that. That is going to give you the basic outline of what it takes to do a complete set. So when you get all of your items, you have everything laid out, you've got your steps, and you're like, I'm hitting everything. Do you like this? It's going to be extremely hard. It's going to be messy. It's a lot of moving parts. But the question is, do you like this enough to continue to pursue it? To continue to put money into it? If the answer is yes, then we're going to go ahead into looking at furthering our education and really getting those basic steps down to move forward in the career. But if the answer is no, this is just way too much work, this is not what I thought it was going to be, and it's just really too hard for me to grasp, then you haven't lost on a lot of money. So that's okay. That's why I recommend you start with cheaper products, low end, and only a small amount of supplies, because this is, again, a craft that is really hard to learn and has a lot of moving parts. If you don't love it, you're not going to want to do this all day, every day. And it doesn't make sense to start off purchasing a bunch of items just to practice and you don't even end up liking it. So once we figure out, yes, this is something that I would love to do every day. I love the fact that I get to be creative and I get to meet people, get to kind of be a therapist a little bit, get some new friends and your clients and things like that, then we're going to go ahead and take the next steps in getting into our education. Now, in my previous episode, I did talk about becoming a licensed nail tech and how a lot of states are going to require you to be licensed in order to operate in business. And that's going to be nail tech, hairstylist, and lashing as well, which you would need to be an esthetician to be able to do lashes legally in most states. Now, again, I say most states. I'm in the state of Virginia. They require you to have a license for these things. Some states don't. So always check with your state's local department of regulations to see what the requirements are for your beauty industry professions, so you know exactly what direction you need to go in as far as your education. Do you need to just take a couple of courses to be able to learn and build up the skill, or do you need to also get those hours in for your state board and be able to take the state board test to get licensed. So always do your research on that as well to make sure that you are legally covering all the bases to be able to operate in your state. You don't necessarily have to depend on your clients, because we do have a couple of slow seasons throughout the year. One of the biggest slow seasons we have is going to be right after the summertime. So September, when school gets back in, to about mid-November, when people start preparing for the holidays, is going to be a very slow period. September and October are probably going to be your slowest months, and this is going to be every single year. So this is something that you want to be able to prepare for by creating passive streams of income. What that means is being able to do things related to your industry that don't include having to have clients. So this is where your social media is going to come in at, and this is where your creativity for promoting yourself in different ways are going to be very, very important. So you want to make sure you're keeping your clients retained by booking their fills while they're still at their appointment, to make sure they're on a monthly or a bi-weekly schedule. Make sure you're contacting your clients that they are going to remember their appointments. Send out those reminders. Tap in with clients that you maybe haven't seen in a month or two, which you notice is going to be outside of their normal schedule. Hey, everything okay? Just checking to make sure your nails are good. Things like that are okay. Don't ever feel like that is outside of you or above you, or that you don't need to do that because more people will come. Never forget to continue with your regular clients. Those are going to be the ones that are going to keep that continuous revenue for you throughout the years. Make sure you are constantly checking in, backing up with emails, reminders, and making sure that, again, you are keeping them on your books. It's much easier for the client if you can book the appointment for them, make sure the reminders are getting sent and things like that. This is the type of service that your client really looks forward to. It makes it so easy for them. They don't have to even worry about getting a spot. That is going to deter them from going to other nail techs as well. So that is one good way to retain your revenue, and this is going to be the thing that builds the base foundation of your income. So when you are an entrepreneur, you realize that you are the source of everything coming in and coming out. Nobody else is paying for these things. So everything that we bring in needs to be able to cover all of the money that we have to put back into the business. And then also we want to be able to make a profit, not break even. Now, a lot of the times, if we are not consistent with posting, we're not consistent with making sure that our clients are booked monthly or bi-weekly, and we are also not consistent with our work, that can hurt our baseline, which affects you getting to that six-figure number. So don't ever throw these things to the wayside when we get busy, when we get bigger, we get booming, the books are always filled. Always remember these retention tips to be able to keep your clients on the books and keep more coming. We're going to start with first promoting on social media. So this is going to be a running theme for us. Social media literally connects us to the entire world now. This is not just a platform to reach your neighbors, to reach the people in your city. This is going to target everyone in the world that is on that same platform as you. And it may seem like it's not that big, but trust me, when you post it, you have no idea who it's being seen by, but it is being seen by people around the world. So this is going to be your way of building your business first. This is going to be the easiest way for you to be seen and be pushed out. But again, we don't want to forget the local people. Not everyone is on social media. So if you really want to target your local audience, meaning the clients that can actually come to you, we are going to do that footwork as far as passing out cards when we're out, talking to people in public, keep your own nails done, hair done, lashes done, whatever you do, keep it done on yourself. That way you can be a walking advertisement. And as I always talk about, it's great to be able to have a couple of models or brand ambassadors, like close friends and people that you trust to help promote you, so that way when they're out, oh, who does your nails, you have a walking business card, you have a walking advertisement. And it's going to be very important to grow in your local area, to build up clientele in the local area, because of the fact that social media is worldwide. A lot of those clients may not be able to book with you because they're not in your state. So just doing that footwork locally is just going to help put a cushion behind it, making sure that we are actually reaching people who can actually book us. So once we start posting and we're getting our clients, we're going to make sure that now we're able to create a second source of income. Successful people, especially billionaires, have minimum 5 to 6 sources of income. 5 to 6. One source of income is not going to do it. So don't count on just your clients, because we're counting on people and things happen. So you want to make sure that we have that as the basis. Just for an example, just to run some numbers, even as a beginner, say I'm just starting out, my full sets max only cost $60, and that includes designs, and that includes up to, let's say, long length. So if I am just a beginner, it's probably going to take me 2 to 3 hours just to do a basic set. So say I can only get in 3 clients a day. At the max, you're getting about $180 a day or so. If you're able to have a full book of those 3 clients a day for 5 days a week, 4 days at the minimum a week, that is going to put you between $700 and $900 a week, which is already getting you in the $35,000 to $40,000 range a year. And that is just from you doing a small price of $60 a set. Getting in about 12 to 15 clients a week already puts you at that base amount. A lot of people don't even make that much at a regular 9 to 5 job in a year. A lot of jobs are starting out their salary at $30,000 to $35,000, and that's with you working 40 hours a week. That does not compare. So this is definitely going to be a great career for you, even as a beginner, but understand it is going to be a lot of work getting to that point. So I'm a beginner. My sets are only $60 a piece. That's the max. And so for right now, I'm happy making $700 to $900 a week. And that is a really good income for a beginner nail tech. But at the end of the day, you already know your prices are going to go up. As your skill goes up, your prices are going to go up. So that income is just going to double over time. But this is just for as a beginner nail tech. You feel like I'm charging way too much as a beginner. A lot of the times we feel like we should work for free. But I'm telling you, at minimum, you want to be charging $30 to $50 for your work. This is a very expensive industry to work in, and it is going to cost you a lot of money to maintain your supplies. So as long as you're taking clients, you need to be making some type of profit. So I never recommend that you don't charge anything unless it's for your brand ambassadors or models, but at least 35, I would say 35 minimum to 60 is going to be a good base point for your beginner sets. Now we have our slow seasons that are going to hurt. So we're not counting for that when we're thinking about that whole yearly total. But now let's think about the fact that we are going to have some slow weeks. Every week is not going to have 12 to 15 clients. You're going to get sick. They're going to get sick. Things come up. Things like that. So now let's add in another skill. My first recommendation is going to be press-ons. Now, when we're thinking about who we can reach, as I mentioned, a lot of those people may want to book with you, but they're not in your area. That's where your press-ons come into play. And you want to be able to provide high quality press-ons for clients worldwide, so that way you are again creating a second source of income. So we have number one, which is going to be our clients, and now we have number two, which is going to be press-ons. I price my press-ons pretty close to a regular full set because it doesn't take any less time. You always want to think about the convenience that it is for you, not for the client. A client might think, oh, well, this is just going to be a press-on nail. It shouldn't be as much as a full set. From a nail tech's perspective, yes, it is. And it might even be more because a lot of the times it's going to take me a long time to still do the detailed work on this press-on set, and I have to still ship it to you. So these are going to be similar in price. Let's say it's slow season, but people still need their nails done after school goes back. A lot of clients, which are going to be moms, are a little bit light in the pocket. So to make it easier, offer your clients some press-ons in those slow times, and then offer those press-on sales. So what I mean by that is you offer press-ons 365, but they may not be ordered that frequently. But when you have a slow point in the year, this is a great time to give your clients and your customers a break on the price. So let's say for the month of October, for the month of November, all press-on sets are going to be 20% off. All designs, all lengths, and depending on how busy you will get for your press-ons, you can even offer free shipping, because shipping, depending on how far it has to go, can add anywhere from 10 to 30 bucks. We're not doing a sale every time we get slow, but we're definitely going to target those specific points a year where we know people are a little lacking in the spending area, so that way we can still turn a profit and then they can still enjoy our services.